As I said, the feedback from the last show was that this was an area of concern for wash operators, and I don't know if everybody here is a member. As I mentioned yesterday, a member of Aqua. If you're not, there's some fantastic opportunities to pay for your membership just through the services we provide through Danny Lynch. And Danny will be speaking a little bit later in the program. And of course, to answer a specific question like that, Danny's on the stand downstairs, and it's worth going bending his ear for a little while. But the templates and things like that that are available to members will pay for themselves if you're looking to really handle your OHS issues. Just, I guess, moving to a different area before we do come back to Danny. It's, I guess, the mystical world for many people of digital marketing. And we're joined today by Danny Mao, who will join us up here and talk a little bit about digital marketing and marketing into the future. Thank you.
Actually, Doug, I think you stole my slide. You don't have it. Someone else stole it, or is it up here?
The flicker?
The flicker? Is that it there? Beautiful. All right. It's a good start. My name's David Moore. I'm actually part of a group called the Regionals, and we do a whole number of services, including offline and online. And part of the, this is not clicking on. That's better. So we're a part of a collective of independent marketing specialists. I actually run my own business, so all of us run our own businesses, and my specialty is actually in digital marketing. So I've been in this for 16 years, and I've obviously seen a fair bit of change from Yahoo being the premier search engine with about 6 of them, through to now Google being the absolute 100-pound gorilla, 1,000-pound gorilla, along with Facebook is really the two main digital marketing areas that you're interested in. So this is a bit of a few flashy logos there, just of who we've worked with. But today really it's about trying to give you a little bit of an idea of what you need to do if you already have a car wash, or if you're looking at a car wash, of how to first of all get leads in the digital space on Google. And then secondly, if you already have leads, maybe there's an opportunity there to remarket to the leads. So I know there are different types of car washes. I mean, I'm a user, so I understand with my cars, I go to self-service, and I've also used car washes where they'll do it for me. And there are challenges in both spaces as to how you might use this. So I'll try and give a couple of examples both ways. So just a few little statistics here. The big statistic here is the mobile. The mobile, it's an absolute no-brainer now that the mobile has absolutely boomed. So I would suggest that up to 80% of searches online through Google are through the mobile for your services. And that means that they're going to be location-based services. So the near me search, so for instance, car wash near me, is going to be one of the premier searches. Probably around about 12 months ago, that wasn't so much the case. We've seen a massive boom in that. The other one is the car wash, say Melbourne, so that sort of search as well. And you can insert your suburb into that, so car wash Box Hill, car wash if you're in Brisbane, Camp Hill where I live, insert suburb. So I thought I'd just show you an example of a mobile search result. So here you've got the map showing in the centre here. I might come down. So here is the map, and you've got map search results. So basically these locations, the AC match here. You can run ads that will actually guarantee that you show here, and that will be part of what I show you today. The other type of search is, of course, the desktop search. It still shows the map in the car wash Melbourne search, and you have two types of results. So you've got here the result, which is the organics result, and the map result. So, and there's the car wash near me, and you can see similar inner Melbourne, and you can see the same results coming up. So the problem here is that if you're not here in these search results, then there's a high chance they're not going to find you. And that's why it is absolutely critical. It doesn't cost you $1,000 to be there. You can actually work through budgets, work through how much you want to pay. You can even just put it there from a branding point of view, just so you're there. I thought I'd just mix it up and put in Box Hill. I'm not from Melbourne, but I understand a few of the suburbs. So again, just for difference here, we've got Car Wash, Box Hill, again, 2 results. Interesting thing there with the Melbourne search result was the fact that there was a mobile car wash, mobile detailer, I assume, come to you. So in Maps, you can also have that sort of service as well. So you can either have them come to you or you're an actual site. It doesn't matter. There are slight benefits in having a site, but you can still do both. And here's the search result again. So I might just try and evade that. So why do you need to be here? Well, the searches that I've done, there's actually very little competition. So it doesn't cost you a lot to actually get into that map and onto the search result. And you can set your budgets, and you can set the cost per click, and you can also set time of day, etc., to when you want to display. So it really is up to you as to when you want to spend the budget and how much. It's not going to cost you a lot of money to get into the game. The second thing is branding. Branding is important. I'm what I call a direct marketer, so I actually believe in you being extremely accountable for your ad spend. There are people out there who just want to throw money at it and just say it's all branding, so let's not measure it. I believe in measuring, so it has to work for you. But branding is that little bit of it where they'll see it again. It's like driving past you. You know, they'll see you, see it again. Oh yeah, that's where the car wash is. So, and the third one there is the volume. It's proven that people are searching for this. So it is important, if you're not there, that you are there. So how do you choose the keywords? And we use keyword tools, and that's how I know what people are actually searching for. So I'll actually start broad, put in something like Car Wash Melbourne, and then over time the campaign will actually tell me all the other different things that they might be searching for. Google is extremely intelligent through their artificial intelligence. So I'll say the artificial intelligence, you might hear the robots are coming, you know, this word artificial intelligence in life. Where they are killing it and what it really is about at the moment is about marketing for them. They're an ad spend engine, so obviously that's where they're making their billions of dollars. So this is where their artificial intelligence is working for you to tell when people are searching, how much you should be spending, what time of day it should be. It will soon come down to what the weather is like. It's all going to feed into the algorithm, and even now we can set campaigns to say, Google, you just get out there and do it. You work out what the best thing is for me, get me the most conversions, and here's the budget, and I'll just do the rest. So using the keyword tools, you assess what actual keywords are available, and then you assess the data and select the most viable keyword search terms. Sometimes the term you really want to go for, like Car Wash Melbourne, might be some ridiculous cost per click. And I work in the lawyer space. $100 per click for keywords is definitely not out of the question for personal injury. So when someone clicks on it, it's costing you $100, $140, $200. That's out of our league. So we then try and work through which keywords are going to work best for you. So you can also competitively target, and this is, I always like to show this because it's a fun little strategy where if you are up against a competitor, you can actually target their key, like their name, and you can actually then, no matter where they display, you display. You can get really tricky with this, even down to their emails in Gmail, displaying if they send out a newsletter or a car club or something like that, you can actually target them and they would barely even know. So it's one of those fun little strategies. You've got to be careful with that because it can start a tit for tat where they'll come in and then take you on as well. But it is, in some circumstances, it's a nice little strategy. Then you have the advanced targeting, and this is where I will say there is, I mean, working with car washes, I'd work through the game of how the best way is to target and whether it's leads versus ongoing, because you've obviously got, you want to bring people in for the first time, but then you obviously want to retain them as well. You want them to come back and back and back. And for some I can imagine it's difficult to retain with trying to use email marketing. It may just not be possible. But there are ways through Google AdWords where if they hit your site, you pixel them. So in other words, you start tracking them and you can serve ads over a period of time. So for instance, they might see the ad the first time, hit the site the first time, then from there, when you go out to the World Wide Web, and if you've ever flown anywhere and gone through Virgin, Qantas or Jetstar or Booking.com, you should have seen remarketing, because they will pepper you with ads right across all these different websites, and all of a sudden you've got Booking.com following you wherever you go. Even if you've made a booking, you're saying, just go away, I've done my job, and they keep going. So remarketing can be a strategy that you can use where, for instance, you could you work out what the cycle is of the person washing the car. It might be every 4 weeks, it might be every 2 weeks, and then you can show the ads every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks as a reminder. Something like that. That just came completely off the top of my head. So that's an interesting retention strategy versus the idea of the actual just lead generation strategy of getting them in the first time. The map, what I showed you before, that map would be more of a lead generator where you're showing them driving directions, potentially a phone number, how to get to the site itself, which is obviously extremely important. You can also target via demographics, age, gender. There's more coming in now. Profession, for instance. Then there are topics, what they're interested in, for instance, cars. You can potentially target that. You could potentially target the opposite of what you're doing, which is doing it at home, car products. Potentially target that and try and acquire some of the leads from there. Most important to you is location targeting. So you really want to set the location nice and tight to where you are. I've seen people targeting Cairns schools down in Brisbane, and I'm sitting there thinking, not really going to be a great for your budget to be targeting people in a completely different area unless that is absolutely your strategy. And most of the time, they just have no idea that they're doing it. So nice location targeting, nicely 5 kilometres around where you are, you can do that. And then ad scheduling, so time of day, day of week. You can work out when these people are coming, adjust the bids up or down, and also say, I only want to display at these particular times and days. And then you've got the devices, so you can choose mobile, desktop. As I said, mobile is the big one now, and it's not going to go away. So today I thought I'd show you, for the people who want to go and do it themselves or who are already doing it, I thought I'd just give you a little bit of idea of what it looks like in there. So you have, when you create an ad, you've got limited characters, your message needs to be clear. There is an ad type where it's just click. You can actually just click to call if you are on the phone. So I understand some people, self-serves might not be on the phone, but if you are, you can have them click on the ad and it directly calls you, versus the one that goes through to your website. And obviously there's the Google Map where the main point is maybe driving directions to where you are. Make sure that you're putting on there what you have to offer, and encourage the user to find out more if you're putting it through to the site. So if you have clubs, where they're paying a monthly fee for washes or detailing or upselling them to different services, put those in the ad. And you've got the 2 types of ad. This one up here is the text ad, and you've also have the display ad, which is an image, which is used for remarketing as well. The thing, if they're going to your landing page, the most important thing is here is the landing page is not the home page of the site. So add to offer. Make sure that page has an offer on it, and you're telling them, first of all, you've drawn them in with an ad. Make sure that ad is related to where they're then coming into on the site, and offer them something. Just give them something so that or funnel them to where they need to be. If it's about location, put the map front and center. I don't want to have to go through this big page to work out what it is I'm looking for. So if it's an upgrade to a club or for services, things like that, put that front and center on its own page. And the one thing about this is when it's on a landing page, you need to know how this is performing. So at the end of the day, my job is, first of all, to set it up, but then tell you what is working and what isn't. And there are, for instance, $2,000 a month campaigns that I've run where I've just cut them in half because I can work out that certain keywords and certain campaigns just are not working for you. My job is to see what's not working and cut it so I can save you a lot of money. And you can do the same for yourself by setting up the conversion tracking. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about working out, is this overall marketing campaign working for your business? For every dollar I put in, is it giving me $1.50, $2 in profit in the long run? That value per visitor, the value per the person coming through your car wash site. So that's what the ultimate aim of the game is. So then, once we've looked at Google Ads and acquired all the data, and we've looked through all of the campaigns, we can work out which keywords are working, and then we go on to, ideally, to then ranking you in Google for free. And that's the way I like to do it, because I like to work out what works first instead of just wasting time and all this money trying to rank you, for instance, and then in the long run seeing that they were the wrong keywords anyway. You can do all of this yourself. I will impress this on you. I'm not here today to get you to take any of my services. And the one thing that I will give at the end is actually a link that you can download an SEO guide, which I actually wrote quite comprehensively. And if you followed it, you would actually do well with SEO. Google Ads as well, you can actually sign up for AdWords Express, and it's a fast way in. It doesn't have the remarketing, but you can quickly get your ad up. So I've just sold myself out of doing it all for you, but part of it is for Doug today is to come here and tell you how it works so you have an idea and get ahead. SEO is important because the ads don't always display. I have clients who say to me, why isn't our ad there? And it's on an it's an auction. It's a constant dynamic auction. So because of that, you might show 80% of the time, 50% of the time. So that then means that the other times, in the long run, you want to be showing in both places. That engenders trust in your clients as well. They think you're bigger. And even if you're small, it can give you that idea that you're bigger. And everyone doesn't trust paid search. I think that's changing now, but a lot of people said they don't like clicking on ads. Google My Business is the map. For you, probably one of the most important parts. You want to be on that map. You want to be displaying for your location. And it is critical in the age of Google that you are there. So make sure that you at least get a Google My Business page. You can go to Google My Business and sign up and at least get it in there, because looking at the competition, if you add the page, there's a high chance you'll just get straight in with virtually, just by putting in your times and putting in your address and the phone number. It's a critical step. A little bit on on-page SEO. Use the page keyword in the page title. The SEO guide I've got there, if you want to go further, and that is way more comprehensive than this. This is very just basic. Use the keyword in the header, have quality content. Google knows if you're plagiarizing. And then citations. One thing is, if you're interested online, just make sure you've got the citations within. Citations are links in the directories. Yellow Pages, for instance, is a great link to have. They're just very expensive, very expensive. So go out to White Pages and some of these others and just put it into the online directories, and that will help you. This is a report that I give to clients around Google Ads, and you can see in there's conversions, conversion rate, and cost per conversion. So what I'm trying to do for a client is that cost per conversion there of $9.13. So for every conversion I get, it's costing me $9 in ad spend. So that's kind of where I get to as far as how granular it is. And for them, that's a lead. So I like to present that back so you can say that is fantastic or that is really awful. This is not working. We need to try something different, or we're going to give it away. And then the basic lead summary in the end. How many leads you've got over a period of time and what's the average cost per lead. And then I can tell you in the pie graph where they're coming from, mobile, desktop and tablet. Interestingly enough, tablet is really average compared to the desktop and the mobile. It seems to be that everyone is either desktop or mobile. And in the words of Steve Jobs, he said the PC will be like trucks. They're still going to be around, but they're going to, they're really only for the people who need them in industry. So I think in the end, mobiles will be around 95%, I would say, of spend. For more information, neoteric.com.au/carwash. If you fill out the form, I'll actually do a keyword report for you for free, which will tell you what keywords are there and for your location. So I'll ask you to put the location in, and then we'll give you a keyword report, which will help you on your way. So you at least have a start to know which sort of keywords to work with for Google. The other thing is there, download. You don't have to put any information in for this one, is the SEO guide. So you can just download that. And if you love this, it is a bit of a pain at times, so you really have to stick with it. But if you love it, then you can use that guide and you will rank. It's as simple as that. And that's it. I've got 1 minute and 26.
You talk about conversion.
Yes.
Is there any way of telling, unless you do a promotion of some sort, that it converts to a consumer going through the cart?
Yeah. So what I generally do, we try. There are very technical ways. Google is getting better at matching it to a customer relationship, like a CRM database, but it is extremely hard. So what I generally do is I can obviously tell that I've got it to the point where, for instance, if they've filled out a form or if they've made the phone call, I get it to that point. And then in Australia, we're actually quite far, we're a long way behind when it comes to that sort of traffic where it can be actually matched then to a CRM. But if you don't have the management databases, it's almost impossible at the moment to work out that that person has gone to that location. I think it's going to come though. If it's the mobile phone, it's only a matter of time where that privacy, they work out that the mobile was located in that location of the car wash. So we get close, but we don't get all the way. And that's one of those, I'd love to get all the way because it would actually make everything sing, and I understand the pain of the owner-operator because, how do you know? So I hope that answers your question. The problem becomes, the cost of tracking them all the way starts increasing at the moment. It's hard to then, like wage-wise, you then have to pay someone to extract the data and match up the ID from the tracking into the database. So you've got to work out whether it's worth it or not.
Getting sponsored ads on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Is that part of what you do?
It is. It's a whole nother discussion, but it's certainly the other, I would say, potentially, I'd say probably 40% potentially of what you do. So it's definitely worthwhile, and it can get brilliant results. Again, location tracking, you can display it, obviously, location and demographics. You can use similar lists. If you've got a database of people, you can upload the database into Facebook, get it, either market to them or market to a lookalike list, things like this. So there's a lot there in Facebook as well at the moment. As I said, Google and Facebook are really the two premier places online to market, so absolutely. I wish I had more time so then I could go through that side, but don't think it's not as important. All good? Thank you.